Hey guys, this is Amplifire, a shoutcaster and analyst for the Pro Gaming series, and we're here right now to look at the match between Imperium Pro Team and Bangkok Titans in the tournament King of Sea. So this is a tournament involving the Southeast Asian teams. This doesn't really affect any league. This is just to promote competition and to elevate, bring the best teams from Southeast Asia to fight each other, to help them improve and everything. So the reason I'm doing a VOD review about this game, this is for the people who are curious about where IPT is relative to other Southeast Asian teams. Kasi syempre, kapag sa PGS, syempre, puro Filipino teams lang. So obviously, we know where IPT is in the PGS. They're number one. But it doesn't mean because you're number one in your region, you're number one against the rest of the world, obviously. And this game shows us that even though IPT is number one, they are very behind relative to other international teams, like for example BKT. And BKT, if you guys watched their match against SKT in the previous Worlds, got stomped as well. So if BKT stomps IPT and SKT stomps BKT, how far are we? Yeah, I'm sure you guys can answer that question. We'll see how things went on in this game. So I'm gonna be trying to provide some insight and analysis on the game, and I hope you guys enjoy, and hopefully IPT really learns from this series. This is a best of 3, but I'll only be checking game 1. So let's check the picks. So BKT bans out Vlad, Soraka, and Shen. These are all understandable bans. Vlad is a favorite pick of Light, so that's understandable. It can even be flexed onto JLC, who has played that before. Shen is a flex pick between Suez and JLC. This is because Shen is in a good spot in the meta, so it's understandable that he's banned against GLC and against Suez, because Suez does like to use Shen in the jungle. Poi plays Soraka sometimes. I find this ban a bit weird, but I guess it's fine if they don't want to be fighting that. And then Imperium Pro Team responds with Ryze, Kindred, Rek'Sai. So Kindred, Rek'Sai, both meta junglers, and SS7 I believe does use both, so respect bans there as well. Ryze onto G4, definitely a target ban. So understandable ban so far. Now BKT locks in Trundle first. So this is a good lock-in. Obviously Trundle is in a good spot in the meta. He is able to fight a lot of the top laners now. I believe the other popular top laners now are champions like Gnar, Rumble, Irelia, for example. So Trundle will do fine against most of those matchups. And then Imperium Pro Team lock in Graves and Braum. So also still both good picks right now. Poisanti does like to play Braum a lot. It helps keep Hate safe, who is the AD carry. And then Suez locks in the Graves. So tanky, they have pretty good front line. So things are looking good so far. BKT locks in the Elise and the Karma. So both still no issue with that. Karma is a flex pick mid support, so it's a good lock-in. It's contested in other regions. And Elise is going to provide good early pressure, so that's good. And then IPT respond with Irelia and Hate. So my issue with the first 4 lock-ins now is, or at least with this rotation, is, so JLC loves to play Irelia. That's no problem. It's not really seeing Irelia, Ilaoi, I'm sorry. Ilaoi is not really being played in other regions, although it has seen a couple of picks here and there. JLC has been enjoying this pick quite a lot, even though there were other available top lane picks like Irelia and the Gnar and etc. He still decides to pick this Ilaoi. Now, the problem with this is they have no hard CC or no engage. So what are they gonna do when it comes to trying to make picks, when it comes to trying to make team fights, when it comes to starting anything? They're gonna have a hard time because they have no way to lock down anyone unless the passive stun from Braum lands. But that's not even, you don't count that as engage. They lack engage, and that's gonna be a problem, as we'll see later on in the game. But anyway, they have pretty good mixed damage right now. They're just lacking AP, so we'll see what happens. And then BKT get the Caitlyn and the Azir, so they are able to get mixed damage. They have good late game AP damage, and then obviously they have the AD damage from Caitlyn and Trundle. So things are looking all right for them. They have a good speed boost, they have good disengage, and they have the option to make a lot of picks with this Elise. So things are looking all right for BKT. Now for IPT, they lock in the Victor last, so this is a problem because I already said that they were lacking engage, and they still don't get any engage in the mid lane. They could have gotten maybe something like a Zillion, maybe something like a Lissandra, anything that could lock something down, provide extra CC. But again, they don't. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Obviously, they have good damage. They have freaking 4 carries right now, potentially. But without engage, how are you going to be proactive in the team fight or throughout the game itself? So we'll see how things go in the game. So let's move along. We'll put this at 1.5 so it doesn't take too long. Right, so we're gonna be seeing standard lanes. Di naman kailangan mag-lane swap because Hate and Braum are pretty safe. This is a pretty safe lane. The only problem is Caitlyn and Karma are very abusive in lane. They do tend to harass a lot, and because IPT doesn't have any sustain, that might be a problem. Hate does tend to fall out of position sometimes. So if Caitlyn and Karma are able to lock you down, it's gonna be really bad in this early game. Also, you have 2 dependent lanes. Victor and Ezreal scale into mid game. They really need help. And Graves isn't exactly the best ganking jungler kasi wala siyang CC. So if he comes into a lane, then the potential of you landing a kill is quite low because Graves needs help from the lane for CC. So I would have gotten a different jungler. That's why I would have preferred Elise to go on the side of IPT if they were going to have this comp, because at least my CC na pang assist kay Victor and Ezreal to help them get the mid game. But that's not what is going to happen. So let's check out the laning phase. Boy, moving so far forward, and he's forced to heal and die. Gives up first blood. Hate gets a kill in the process, but I believe this is a 2-1 trade. Yeah, it is. So let's go back a bit and see what happened there. So let's take a look. So they're already losing minions. This is bad because Poi is so far forward. They don't have many minions left. You can see here they're all dying already. And Poi is trying to push forward to land the stun. Now, he does force a flash. That's one good thing. Now back out. But he keeps pushing forward. He already burned the stun. So I don't know what he was expecting, because even if you land the stun onto Intereso, you're not gonna kill him this far forward without minions and an entire minion wave focusing you. So he decides to go forward. Obviously, he's gonna get bursted. He's forced to flash. He's forced to heal. Hate is forced to heal. And then Intereso flashes forward to get the first blood. Now, he does die. But it's an unfavorable trade, because then Moss gets the kill. And now Caitlyn gets 1 kill and 1 assist. So IPT got way too excited there in that bot lane. They weren't keeping in mind the minion wave. They were too aggressive. And that's going to put Ezreal even further behind, who now has to get the call on his first back. There's a gank in mid. But G4 is going to survive. So he's fine. He'll be forced to back. So let's see how things go on. We're seeing Irelia struggling in terms of CS against Trundle. And that's pretty understood kasi syempre si Trundle, he does have good sustain. And his early game damage is there. Ilawi does need to get the Black Cleaver before she actually really starts hurting. So it is understandable that she's falling quite behind. She doesn't have the best laning phase, really, especially against people who can withstand her harass. If Ilawi's not bullying you, you're probably bullying her. So that's pretty bad. So now the bot lane is trying to freeze, which they should be doing. They shouldn't be overextending like they did earlier. They're just trying to farm, because remember, Ezreal is a tier ADC, so which means he needs to farm, he needs to stack, he needs to CS so that he can reach that mid game. Unlike Caitlyn, who definitely hurts much more in the early game, so they have to be careful during the laning phase. Okay, so let's actually move a bit more. So things are going just fine. Graves. So there's a bit of mid lane focus right now. We're seeing mid Elise and Graves is trading. Scuttle is secured by BKT to make sure that the bot lane's safe, because they are pushing in, which is good. And Graves continues to farm. Yeah, so this is going to be a pretty Stay laning phase. Oh, so Azir again forced to move back. He is pushing a bit forward. Yun yung problema kapag nag-Azir kaya actually. Because your soldiers pierce, they tend to push the wave quite a lot. And G4 puts himself in trouble when he pushes the wave. So he was forced to flash early. 007. Oop, wait. So I was distracted there. Let's check this out. So 007 tries to make a move. Perfect that JLC was actually going to try and put down a ward here. And he's able to lock down JLC. So they're able to slow him down. He's forced to flash. There's the pillar and Graves comes in. He's trying to match the gank. And BKT gets away with it. Should that JLC, should he have been expecting that? Well, if you look at the path, he should have been all the way up there. Pero sobrang unfortunate lang talaga na the exact moment JLC was going to put down the ward, he gets locked down, and then a good pillar from Lloyd. So there's not much that JLC could have done there. Yeah, that's at least early game for you. Which would have helped IPT with bot lane and mid lane. But in any case, oh, IPT is still moving forward here. Wow. What? What? Okay, so let's look at Suez. So the percentage chance of this gank going anywhere when you're a Graves without a full item yet is low. So again, it's another situation where IPT is overestimating the amount of damage they can do. He even flashes to try and land the Q, but 007, he steps back so that he doesn't get the bounce back damage. And then all that early game damage just melts Suez. At least Light comes in to equalize the kill. Can he kill Lloyd? No, there. Okay, there's a TP. Okay. So yeah, BKT are up 6-2 now. And IPT are behind by a lot of gold. So IPT, a bit too over-aggressive. We do see that happen with international tournaments though. But the problem is, IPT is not supposed to be too aggressive. Because their composition is supposed to be scaling to mid-game. So, siguro, this is a lesson on... Oh, wait. G4... Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay. So so let's watch that. This would have been a pretty good gank because GLC was pushing really far forward without vision, which is his fault. He didn't have vision in the tri-brush. Now G4 comes in, but since IPT JLC had all his tentacles around, this was bound to happen actually. Because look at how many tentacles there are. There's like 4 and there's another one spawning. There's 5. Yeah. And G4 doesn't even hurt that much. And the 5th one kills him there too. So don't gank Ilawi, who has her ult up and has all the tentacles around her. Because when she ults, you're all gonna die. So that was pretty... I don't... You see, this is the advantage with playing Ilawi. People don't really face her that much. So when you're gonna face her in competitive... they don't really have a good estimate of how much damage you do throughout the game, and she does have the phage already, so she does hurt quite a bit. So BKT underestimating the damage there as well, sadly. Oh, bot lane. What? Wait, what was Boy doing? Boy was so he gets spotted out, and Elise is here to land the cocoon. Speed boost, force the flash. Yeah, that gank wasn't gonna work out. But they did force a flash though. Oh! Hate Arcane shifting forward. Oh my. Let's take a look. Okay, so at this point we're seeing... So there's no way that this gank is gonna work out. They already flashed out. There. So you see this moment right here? This moment, IPT should have been like, okay, their gank failed. We're fine. We'll reset. Resume laning phase. Back to normal, ladies and gentlemen. But IPT hate here because they're calling Victor, if you can see on the minimap right now, Victor is already here. And so Hate decides to move forward because Victor is already going to pass here. But he's so far. He's really, really far. So this was a bad call from Hate, who decides to Arcane shift forward because he wants to land the stun. But Hate is so low and Victor's so far. And now watch as they regret their decisions. Yeah. And then Light comes in and he's 1v3 and he gets knocked down. And then the Cocoon comes in and then he dies. So we're seeing a string of really bad decisions from IPT in the early game on a scaling composition without CC. You see how outnumbered in CC they are because you have Pillar, Wall, Cocoon, Root, and then possible traps from BKT to lock IPT down. What does IPT have? Bromstun. Bromstun. That's it. So in these small skirmishes, CC makes such a big difference and BKT has more of it. Plus the fact that Elise is just the best early game ever and Caitlyn has the best early game ever and Karma is also great in the early game. So I don't know what IPT are doing fighting like this when they're weak. Yeah, bad decision making from them. Suez, I think he stole the enemy blue. Yeah, he did. So he steals enemy blue. He looks for Trundle. So Lloyd getting some damage here. Okay, so they force him out of lane. That's good. Though, seriously, GLC needs that because he's at 62 CS versus 86. That's really bad. That's he's like, oh no. That's 69 to 65. Yeah, so he's not that behind anymore. He was able to catch up because of the double kill from earlier when G4 ganked. Every other lane seems to be doing fine except bot. Bot is just Hate is just in a really bad place right now. Oh, 007 finds Suez. Oh my! Wow, nice. Well played. So let's see what happened there. So Elise is going to blue because she knows her blue is stolen. Trundle was there. So Elise goes over to the blue side to get some revenge. Suez falls low. And he almost dies. But he catches vision of the blue and then finishes him off and puts down the ward. Well played. So he's able to take him down. Whoa! What happened there? Meanwhile, while all that is happening, Victor is going to the river. Let's see how he ended up there. So while this duel is happening, Victor chases Azirian to the river and then Karma's there. So he gets caught. Yeah. Not much vision there too. Victor shouldn't have been walking in there. And now I think... Oh no, okay. Yeah, so pretty bad decisions again. Good job from Elise. Suez did not expect that. They really lack vision actually. Ang dilim ng mapa ng IPT. They don't have vision in the river. Oh, there's another ult again. How did these things happen? But you see, that's the problem. There's not much stain on the bot in the bot lane, and then there's so much harass from BKT. So it's such a hard lane. And you didn't get a ganking jungler. I mean, Graves is kind of a ganking jungler, but he doesn't have CC. So he doesn't really help. And there goes the turret. Yeah. Okay. So what should IPT do at this point, right? So you're behind by like 5,000 gold. You're a scaling comp. So they should be putting down vision because Elise and Karma are going to start roaming now. So you have to keep in mind bot lane is already down. So that gives Karma the advantage of roaming to wherever, which she did earlier. Elise is obviously strong right now. She's 3-1-3. And Caitlyn is really strong right now. She's 5-1-3 with a BF sword. IPT want to slow down the game because they've given up so many kills recklessly. They have to reset. Guys, we have to put down vision. We have to slow down the game. Let Hate and Light scale. The bot lane turret has been broken, so he'll just freeze. Freeze bot lane. and keep yourself safe. Put down as much vision as you can, and yeah, just try to slow down the game. Let JLC, Light, and Hate all catch up. That's what they should be doing. Have BKT get a bit too aggressive. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Ooh, close. Whoa! Flash forward ult. But it misses. Yeah, so Elise is just invading the jungle right now. You can see her right there. Just invading. Meanwhile, Nilawi is doing fine. Whoa! Very close. Wow, you see how strong Elise is in the early game when you give her 4-1-4. She just bursts everyone. Runan's BF sword already for Caitlyn. So this is a good move from BKT. They know they took down bot lane, and oh my goodness, bye Intereso. Yeah, so that wasn't a good idea. Caitlyn shouldn't be soloing. She should be with Moss. Shouldn't have been 1v1ing JLC. Okay, wait. So Intereso made a bad decision. JLC is pumping forward. Yeah, JLC got too hungry there. Although he almost killed him. I'll give him that. But, yeah, again, overestimating your damage, dude. So we'll see what happens. Wow, there's the ult. He flashes out of the gravity field, and they both die. That's expected. Victor does deal a lot of damage now. His DPS is higher right now. Azir wants sustained fights. He doesn't burst people. So IPT gonna push bot lane. They know that the bot lane's up, so they're going to trade. So this is okay. So Trundle is there. GLC is gonna try to defend. Ooh, oh, it goes down. Oh no, bye. So they took way too long, and they should have backed. They tried to dive again. IPT is. They seem. What we're seeing in the game so far is that IPT, so they make these decisions and they don't really know how feasible that decision is. Like, they don't know. They're taking high risk, medium to low reward decisions, and then they don't know when to back out of it. So IPT pushing bot lane was fine, but when they started to try and kill Trundle and overstay at that turret, they should have already been backing. So we're seeing that trend over and over again. They're making risky decisions, and then they don't seem to have very good instinct of when they should be backing out. And you're on a scaling team, so you'd think if you're on a scaling team with an Ezreal and a Victor, you'd be playing a bit more safe. But IPT doesn't seem to be doing that, and they still lack vision. So they're not. We were talking earlier about what they should be doing now, and they're not doing it. So they're lacking vision. Although, I mean, to be fair, another team fight. Wait. Let's see how this happens. So yeah, BKT are invading this side, and G4 finds the Braum. I don't know why Light is in there, but he is in there. And they get up a couple of picks. There's a kill. Trundle is here too, so they're probably gonna get more. Yeah, they do. 007 almost dies. Okay. So that's 2 for 1. Good enough. And BKT are up by 4 turrets right now. So they're playing their composition very well. I'm wondering why BKT hasn't taken Dragon though. This is a very late Dragon. If we take a look, I think that's a Mountain Drake too. So that would really help them now. They can secure that. I would have secured it earlier. I really think that it would have been more optimal for BKT to take the Dragon earlier, since they were already snowballing anyway. They should have taken that earlier. Especially since it's a Mountain Drake too. Caitlyn and Azir and Trundle are going to be doing a lot more damage over time against those objectives, since you do get additional true damage onto turrets and epic monsters. Oh, but finally Elise is there. She does take it, so 0 risk, high reward. So obviously you might as well take the Dragon, since Elise can solo it by this point. At this point, if I was the caster, I would say IPT still have a slim chance of getting back into the game. But here, so let me explain why IPT's composition is gonna have such a hard time to get back into the game. I pointed out earlier in their composition that they have barely any engage. So that's actually a very, very big problem. You see, JLC is he's a very good, he's had a lot of really good flanking moments in the pro gaming series. Nakita naman natin sa mga fans ni JLC dyan. He's a great top laner. He's probably one of, if not the best top laner in the PGS right now. And he has most of the time he has good instincts of when to teleport, when to respond, and he's usually the one initiating for the team. However, when you put him on an Illaoi and the Illaoi TPs to flank, Illaoi's not the best flanking top laner because she's the kind that needs to set up her tentacles so that she can burst everyone down with her ult. But if you're gonna TP in a random place where you probably have never set up any of your tentacles, then you're not gonna be doing a lot as compared to, for example, a TPing Rumble, a TPing Lissandra, TPing Poppy, for example. So JLC TPing to flank engage on BKT is not really an option. And then put in the rest of the team that really doesn't have much engager CC. So how can they be proactive? Meaning, how can they be the one to try and make moves to get themselves back in the game where they have no CC, not much flanking potential to, make a move and lock down and, for example, try to capitalize on the mistakes of BKT. They can't do it that well. They can't execute it that well because they don't have much CC. So BKT know that. And so they're pretty brave to just stomp and, just try to put vision all over the jungle of BKT because IPT is not making a lot of effort to put down vision, especially since Graves went Skirmisher Saber. And then, BKT can just take out all the wards, put down all the vision, invade in without the fear of a flanking GLC and without the fear of getting locked down on the Azir and the Caitlyn because they're long ranged. No one's gonna flank me. No one's gonna engage on me. Therefore, we can get this Mountain Drake and just end the game. So let's see how this will go. How BKT will end this. Whoa, G4 been really aggressive, and most of the time his drifts are doing well. So we'll see. There is a mid lane passive turret from Azir. Wow, that hurts. And you can see, you guys see what's happening now. So extremely long range champions are putting down damage unpunished because no one's flanking and engaging. So they're just putting down so much damage, poking at the rest of the team. There are the Caitlyn traps and there's the Trundle. See? So nope, they're not really being punished for this play. Like I said, they can go 1-4. They have good disengage with the speed boost. Oh, hate! Almost dying. And wow, 007, way too brave there. He shouldn't have done that. So, way too aggressive. Wow, nice drift. Wow. GLC doing damage, but it's not going to be enough, obviously. They didn't even need the Elise, actually. They can just get this inhib. There, so that's going to be the story pretty much. Because of a failure to get CC and engage in your draft, then you have no way of making proactive moves, of punishing plays like this, and BKT can just walk into the base, which they just did. Even Elise, hell, she repelled into all 5 members. So that's, oops. Okay, so this would have, okay. So this play, you can see how wonderful this would have been if JLC was on a flanking champion, because then they could make more plays like this, where you try and shut down the carries, which they do. But Elise and Trundle are all the way on the other side. They're already at the turret. Wow, G4 is way too aggressive. Nice try. But that's already a bot turret for BKT. And all Moss is doing is delaying so that they can get this turret. Elise has already walked all the way here. Wow, they're gonna get this for sure. And Hate's the only one left alive. So good rotation from BKT to split apart IPT. Because honestly, the thing they need to do the most right now is to be sticking together and getting 5v5s. They have great damage actually in team fights with the Ezreal, Victor, and Graves. All of their members are great in team fights, but you know, BKT know that they want to split them apart and get the objectives slowly. You break it apart slowly. Yep, slowly. Just break them apart. Oh, wait. Let's see that. G4 trying to get the drift, but he doesn't ult. That was weird. Let's see why. I think he got hesitant because of the Arcane Shift, and I don't know if the wall would knock Hate in. G4 so low, and that's his fault. Double kill. And they get second inhib. In fact, they can probably end the game at this point. Yeah. Man, look at Moss. He's a support, but he's scarier than IPT's jungler. And G4's coming back. Now he can drift them in. I think he's gonna get this flash soon. So even Arcane Shift won't save you. Ooh, nice. Bang. And there's light. And G4's here though. Oh, they're forced to back out, so they can't end it. But they will. There he is. Whoa. Wow. Yeah, they can end. Interest of wasted time there. He should have just been targeting the Nexus instead of the kill. Oh, this is taking so long. So this is pretty sloppy from BKT. But then again, that's because IPT, you know, they're grouped up as 5, and that's the time when they're strongest. It's when they're grouped up as 5. So it's understandable that BKT is having a hard time. They need to pick off IPT one by one and then take the Nexus. But I imagine that's probably gonna happen soon. Yeah, this is the hardest part. Whoa, G4. Oh, okay, he tries to drift and he fails. So like 50% of the time G4 is drifting fine, and then 50% of the time he's just, yeah, not doing so well. You see? What was that? I don't understand. But I think, wow, is Interest gonna clean up? Wow! Wow! Okay, let's take a look at that again. So let's take a look at this whole fight again, because I believe it is the last one, so you might as well break it down. So again, okay, so G4 tries to shift. He's obviously in a very bad spot. He's lucky that IPT doesn't have any CCs to lock him down, but obviously, you know, he's out of the fight. He's so low, and Suez focuses him. The collateral damage freaking misses again, so he's lucky, but he's out. And then Poisanity survives for just a bit. GLC is trying to put down damage, and they take out the Trundle. G4 re-engages. So you'd love to say hashtag calculated, even though I'm sure it probably wasn't. But Intereso just does a great job of his target selection here. So he focuses Suez, who dies really quickly. He focuses GLC, because GLC is the closest one. And then he immediately focuses to Hate. He moves forward, kills him. Then the Maw, I think, is that a Maw, saves him. And he's able to clean up. So great stuff. And he gets light too. That's just a consolation prize at this point. So GG. GG, well played. Okay, so let's talk about what happened there. And it was Caitlyn had a Maw of a Mortius. That was for against the Victor. So let's take a look at the compositions one last time. just so you guys can see. So when you look at their team comps, actually let's just jump back to the pick and ban, because I think this is where it all started really. So before I end this VOD review, we'll just take a look at the comps one more time. So again, the great part about this team composition is that you have a pick potential with the, oh wait, let's erase that. So let's look at let's write down the stuff. So AP, AD, just some of the things they might need. Engage, disengage. Right, so let's look at what they have. So they obviously both have AP, they both have AD. This side doesn't really have much engage. This side does. This side has disengage from the Azir and the Trundle, and this side has disengage. So between, when you look at this difference, you can obviously guess who's going to be more proactive, who can make more plays, and obviously it's going to be BKT because they're the ones with the engage. They have the Elise. She made a lot of great picks in the early game, and IPT's bot lane just were way over aggressive, and BKT's bot lane just punished them a lot. So she was able to snowball. All Elise had to do was keep G4 safe, so he's able to scale into late game. No one was really, I mean, Light was trying to save. JLC and Light are like the saving graces of this team. Suez was not really that useful in this game. He was missing a lot of collateral damage. So really, Imperium Pro Team have to fix their draft. In fact, they lose this series of best of 5. I think it was a best of 5 because it reaches game 3 and IPT loses all games. So this first game is just a manifestation of their relatively bad drafting phase. They didn't have much engage, and they need to fix that. They really need to fix. They didn't have anyone to assist your scaling carries, and that's why Elise and the bot lane of BKT were just able to punish the laners. So that's the importance of the pick and ban phase, guys. I hope you learned a lot from this. I hope you learned a lot from this, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time for a VOD review. I really seriously hope Imperium Pro Team improves, because obviously, as a Philippine gamer, I really want to see the quality of games and of our teams rise. And if they find this helpful, you know, I hope they see it as well. Yeah, thank you for joining me, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. This might be a good time to announce as well that I'm going to be starting a series of videos, you know, sharing a couple of my thoughts on esports things, as well as more VOD reviews probably, and interviews as well. So do watch out for that. If you guys just want to catch up, make sure to follow me on my Facebook page, that's Amplifire PH, or on Twitter, that's @AmplifierPH. So I'll see you guys next time. And